Hey, I'm Jake, and for this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I know so far about the Logic Pro X 10.3 update that was released a few hours ago as of today. Now, first things first, this update is a big update. We haven't received one in a few months. This is 10.3, these are the release notes, and this is how big this update is. It's just full of new features and enhancements. So, what I'm going to share with you right now are just the things I like that I'm aware of as of now in 10.3, and I think you should look at the release notes for yourself. I'm going to put them in the description. So, I'm going to open up Logic Pro X, and the first thing you're going to notice is the new interface. Now, if you're updating, you'll be given a what's new page for Logic Pro X. I've already gone past that, so I'm not going to get that again. But anyhow, this is the new interface. The color palettes are different, and apparently you have more colors available in Logic Pro X. The next thing, buses are more organized. Right now, what you're seeing is bus 1 and bus 2. If I click this, and if I click the send, and look at my bus options, it's the classic bus 1 and bus 2, but if I turn this into a track stack, the buses will be more organized. So I'm going to highlight these two buses, and I'll press Control T. I'll highlight these three. I'll press Shift Command D and create a summing stack. I'll name this piano. Now when I close this and I look at the buses again, they're now organized correspondingly with the track stack. And I can demonstrate this one more time. I think it's really good for organization in your sessions as you're going on. Here's the beat machine. So Drum Machine Designer, if you don't know this, it's essentially a track stack that's under the hood of Ultrabeat. So you have buses. Anyhow, when I click the send, the bus send, now you have a folder Beat Machine, and all the buses within that track stack are organized correspondingly, which is a really great thing to have. Next thing, let's talk about sidechaining. Sidechaining is one of those things that's really painful. It used to be really annoying to do in Logic Pro X. Before, you had to use an audio file, or you had to make a bus output alternative, a bus track with no output, and that was a bit of a confusing thing for anybody to handle. Now, let's say I open up my compressor, and the sidechain option shows that you can now sidechain straight from MIDI instruments. So if you make a 4 on the floor with an Ultrabeat or maybe battery, you can go straight into your compressor, click sidechain or whatever you're sidechaining with, and choose the corresponding instrument from the get-go. You don't have to go through the whole busing option thing. Now, the biggest feature for me is the track alternatives. So you guys might know that when you record audio, you can actually, I can demonstrate this. I have a demo. When you record audio, you have alternatives, right? So basically, you can record on and on. You can cycle through and record as many takes as you want. So I have this really stupid G minor kind of melody. You get the point. So I can click between take 1 and take 2. You couldn't do that with MIDI. So whenever you wrote something in MIDI, you were kind of just stuck with that. And if you wanted a variation, you kind of had to copy and paste the region, and you had to test out the variation of the MIDI region that way. So if, let's say I wanted to write certain chords, so I'm going to write one now. Let me just lower that volume. This is really cool, guys. I'm going to be using this a lot. So what happens if I'm like, okay, I'm not too sure about this chord progression, I kind of want to try a different variation. Then I'd have to make a duplicate, right? Then I'd copy this, and then I go here, then I have to color code it or name it differently. Now, if you control click on this, go to track header components and click track alternatives, you now can make new alternatives for the MIDI region. And if you want to see the old ones, you can just click this up and down arrow and click show inactive. Boom, it's right there. So let's go to, if we go to A, that's it. Then we can go to B, right? So I can come up with something. I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly. Just who cares? Maybe I want that for a bridge, and then if I click this, I put this up. So I can now test out different MIDI regions, different variations of MIDI within the same instrument, and it just saves a lot of time, and it allows me to experiment, which is really cool. Imagine what you could do with drums. Drums were always a pain in the ass for me with MIDI regions, so now I have this. I am extremely happy, and I'm going to be testing this out a lot in my live streams. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but we have MIDI effects, right? We have the modulators. If you click if you make an instrument and click in this top bar here, you have an option of MIDI effects that you can select. Now you can link these MIDI effects with plugin parameters. So let's just test it out. Bit Crusher. So I go here and I click 2. Now I can say learn plugin parameter. If I turn anything, that's the drive for the Bit Crusher. You'll see 2, Bit Crusher drive. That is really cool. Now, I can't really demonstrate the modulator and the Bit Crusher thing, the whole modulating MIDI effects and plugin parameters, because I'm not that fluent in that. So those are some of the things I like, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware. I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but you have 256 buses now. Before, you had 64, so that's really exciting. I always felt that Logic didn't have enough buses. Now we do. 256 is quite a bit. So, the last thing, sorry about my nose, Logic Pro X, and you guys are going to have to test this out. I haven't tested this out yet because I'm still downloading GarageBand on my iPad and iPhone. Before, you could load a GarageBand file into Logic, but not the other way around. This update allows you to save your Logic Pro X files, put it to GarageBand, and add to it through the GarageBand app, which is mind-blowing. So literally, if you're inspired while you're not at your computer, you can pull up your GarageBand app and you can add to your Logic Pro X session. I think that's absolutely amazing, and this is what I know so far. Again, it would be wise for you guys, if you want to know more, go in here, go to the release notes. I'll release it in the description, and you'll find out more things that I haven't discovered yet, and I'd love for you in the comment section to just let me know what the new things are that you've found, because I'd really love to test it out, and you'd save me time by showing me some stuff. Oh, one last thing. There's support for the touch bar, but I'm not using the newest MacBook, so I can't really demonstrate that for you guys. But anyhow, I keep smiling because I'm really excited. It's a great way for me to wake up, but I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and yeah, have a good day. Take care.